I love that he probably was aware of Baker Mayfield's story. I think quarterbacks, it's a fraternity. They kind of keep an eye on other people's careers, see how they're going. And Baker has opened up several times about his faith. Here he is talking about his marriage and his faith and what it's meant to his turnaround.
And my identity at the time was a football player. It was a quarterback, and I thought I could carry that. I was like, oh, I've done this. I walked on. I did this. I did that. Fast forward a couple of years into my NFL career, God taught me a lesson. He had to take my career down to the studs and make me realize that I'm more than a football player. There's much more going on in the game of football. And for me to see that, I had to hit rock bottom. And it wasn't just football, it was in our marriage. We weren't doing well at all. At this time, we were trying to have kids, wasn't going well. And so that was when we dove into PAO. But I remember a couple of years ago, we talked about there's that 99% of you that you can put on a facade as a guy, you put on the mask, but behind closed doors, who are you really? What are you hiding? Are you being vulnerable? And until my career got stripped down, I was hiding a lot. And then for me to climb back up, I had to dive into the Word and accept the grace. And that was something that was really, really hard for me. And when I eventually did, I started to see things from a different viewpoint. And that was the biggest change in my life. And that's a couple of years ago. And I think the best part that I've learned throughout the process is it's constant work. It's not like you just get baptized and you're saved. You have to continue to work because the enemy is out to get you. And that's what I thought that, okay, once I achieve something, I can just move on. No, this is something that has to be part of the daily routine, and you have to make your priorities aligned with that. And so it's been a journey, but it all happened for a reason, and God's timing was perfect, where Tampa feels like home for me now, but that's because of what I built the foundation on.
I think the common thread there, obviously the faith, but also talking about adversity and how it built up their character, and it builds up your faith. It helps you go through the next phase of adversity, because that hasn't all been perfect for Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he's been a great player this season, and he's back in the MVP conversation, but it hasn't come easy. He's had rough moments. He's had bad games, but I think the past adversity and seeing the strength and where it comes from, something bigger than yourself, I think that makes you have this perfect combination of confidence and peace, knowing from within that I'm not playing for anybody else. I'm not playing for the Tampa Bay Bucks. I'm not playing for the next paycheck. I'm playing for an audience of one. I think that power really releases you to be able to play with a freedom and unconcerned about the results and what people think. Just go out there and do and use the gifts that God gave you, and to just go out there and play with the freedom that I don't think a lot of players find without faith.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things here, right? I think the first thing, the most important thing, and it seems so easy that nobody realizes, is these guys are human beings. We're so used to seeing them out there doing superhuman things, and it's hard. A lot of these these guys have to be broken down before they can be built up, right? And a lot of times the openness and the willingness to accept the Lord is the hardest part, right? I know myself, and I was never Baker Mayfield, and I was never Danny Cannell, but I know for the longest time, I was super selfish, man. Holidays and family and loved ones and girlfriends, everything was on the back burner because everything was about me and my career and my shot at the league and my dream, and it wasn't about ours. And then things become clearer as you get older, and you realize, like, now it's about my wife and it's about our child and it's about that, and that's where I draw my strength to work hard from. It used to be my dream and my me. And now it's about everybody but me. But the ability to give them the most beautiful life is what kind of drives me. And a lot of that comes from my faith, and I'm still working on that, you know, and I've talked about that on here before. I wouldn't say I strayed from doing the right thing, but I did the right thing for, you know, not the Lord. That right. I did the right thing because I was told to do the right thing. And it was important, always. That's something that's always been important to me, but it's something now over the last couple of months that I've really tried to, you know, hone in on and just be open and be more willing to listen.
What I love about Baker is I think some people have a perception of how a Christian should compete, you know, be humble, meek.
Yeah, for sure.
Baker still plays with a chip on his shoulder. He still talks a lot of smack. He is a fierce competitor who wants to go out there and rip your soul out.
Yeah.
And I love that because I think that's what God wants you to do is go out there and compete with every ounce of energy that you have, lay it all out in the field. And I think he does that. And he's who he is. God gifted Baker with a very unique mindset, with that kind of hyper competitive spirit. And I think that's exactly what God wants us to do out there. So I think it's awesome. The other thing, go ahead.
And to that point, what you saying and what Baker said is he talks about it's a work in progress. If you look back, and I hate to point it out, but if you look back a couple of weeks, Baker basically is cursing at a fan on the other team in the tunnel. So he completely recognizes that he's still a work in progress, and we're all a work in progress. So we're doing better. Give yourself some credit when you do better, but understand this is still Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean? So he understands. I'm not quite there yet, but we're just going to keep plugging and just keep doing better.
Yep.
I'll shut up, and if you want to hear it, if we can play it.
I know. I don't know if you do. I love it. He's getting into it. He's mixing it up, which is great. I love the response there. It's so good.
And just like, isn't it funny that like he probably went right to the sideline and saw that little beautiful girl again, and he just kind of mushes, like softens up. Yeah,
no
amazing.
doubt.